for Tolkien.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. Hey, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. And I hope that today will be the day I earn your subscription. If you haven't yet, if you've been waiting, allow me to formally ask. There's a red subscribe button down below the video. It's literally the only way you'll find my videos. So I really do appreciate your consideration in allowing me to earn it. Thank you. So, Tolkien. The Tolkien Society. In an affront to its namesake, the Tolkien Society has gone entirely woke. And the latest seminar that they put on is something to behold. I'm just going to give you a little taste of what was going on at the latest Tolkien Society. At 1600 Central Standard Time, or Central Eastern Central Time, I guess, you had Gender in Transition, a brief introduction to transgender realities in The Lord of the Rings. Followed up by The Problem of Pain, portraying physical disability in the fantasy of J.R.R. Tolkien. Oh, okay. Then we have Narrative Displacement and Resettlement Across Cultures in Tolkien's Middle-earth. Then we have The Invisible Other, Tolkien's Dwarf Woman, and Feminine Lack. The Losoth, indigeneity, identity, and anti-racism. The problematic parameters of Elrond Half-Elven and Ronald English Catholic. What? Literally, what? This via The Federalist. The Tolkien Society, a literary organization founded in 1969 and dedicated to promoting the works of J.R.R. Tolkien, has held an annual academic conference for decades. This year's conference, to be held virtually via Zoom, July 3rd and 4th, is on the theme of Tolkien and diversity. Ha 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 ha. Before we go in, understand that Tolkien Society's president was a formerly remains the great J.R.R. Tolkien himself. His daughter Priscilla currently serves as vice president. At its annual seminar, scholars present academic papers, archival materials are sometimes displayed and discussed, and serious effort is generally made to understand and appreciate Tolkien's unique genius. In other words, it's not some ramshackle fan club for Middle-earth LARPers. But this year, the seminar attendees will be subjected to something different. Papers to be presented include Gondor in Transition, a brief introduction to transgender realities in The Lord of the Rings, The Losoth, indigeneity, identity, anti-racism, and something mighty queer, destabilizing cis-hetero anormativity in the works of Tolkien. Pretty much the entire program is like this. The best thing we can say about the Tolkien conference is that it presents papers on, say, pardoning Sauron, the queer in Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, or The Invisible Other, Tolkien's Dwarf Women, and The Feminine Lack, is the scholars in question do not know the first thing about Tolkien or the meaning of his work. The worst we can say, I mean, that's the best. The worst they can say is they hate Tolkien and his work and would like very much to destroy it. Indeed, how else can we account for such a conference? The Lord of the Rings, like The Hobbit and the Silmarillion, and Tolkien's entire corpus of writings, Silmarillion, sorry. I've never read that. I'm not familiar with it. Writings of Middle-earth has nothing to say about the concerns expressed in these papers or the worldview in which they spring. There are no transgender realities in The Lord of the Rings. There is nothing to say about Losoth, a remnant of the ancient people of Forodwaith, a race of hardy men who dwelt in the icy far north of Middle-earth. Wow. Okay, so they're deep into the lore. And that's cool. I'm here for it. I support you. that even remotely relates to the contemporary leftist ideas like anti-racism. There is no place in a serious discussion of Tolkien's works for phrases like cis-hetero anormativity. mononormativity. What? The only reason is to torture Tolkien's work like this is to not understand it more deeply, but to tear it down. And why would modern scholars want to do that? Because everything Tolkien was and everything he wrote is an affront to the modern secular school's understanding of the world, reality, and the meaning and purpose of life. Put bluntly, the world's Tolkien created sprang from an imagination shaped and sufficed by his deep Roman Catholic faith. The Silmarillion, in particular, is in some ways a poetic and literary reflection on what? Catechism of the Catholic Church. Catechism? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. In considering Tolkien's Middle-earth, there is no way to escape this reality. His creation, as he himself was kind of a sub-creation under the inspiration and the aegis of the Almighty God, his grand themes, good and evil, truth and falsehood, power and glory, honor and sacrifice, all flow forth from his Christian faith and his decidedly sacramental view of the world. For Tolkien, all the world is shot through with meaning by a creator who loves mankind and manifests in his works. Capital H his, so talking about, look, I've said this before, I've said this again, I am not an overly religious person. As I get older, I tend to believe that it's better to believe that the things we do in life on this planet matter. I think that leads to better behavior in general. Not that religion hasn't led to some terrible behavior as well, but I think in general, modern day religion is more good than bad. There are always people that take things to the extreme, obviously, that are not good, but you can't paint the whole light. You know, the regular person that goes to that non-denominational megachurch up the block from you is, you know, just wants to be a good person. Maybe they want to be absolved of some poor decisions they've made in life. But I just believe that in general, people believing what they do matters is good, if that makes sense. I guess like my religious viewers are probably slowly wearing me down. I've gone from like full-blown atheist to agnostic to, well, maybe having some religion is good. So who knows where I'll be in a few more years. But I don't disagree. A lot of the modern leftist politics come from, like, most leftists are also atheists. The difference is the religion, I'll say many. I can't say most without hard numbers. Many. So but they're not, though. They like to say they are because they're so much smarter than you, but they're actually not. They worship at the altar of social justice and wokeness and BLM. That's what they do. That is their God. Their God is this feeling of moral superiority that nothing they do, they act with righteous intent in their mind, just like a religious person might. So the idea that they're not religious is hilarious. And that's why they come after Tolkien so much. I mean, how many times have they written the same damn article about, ooh, the orcs are black people? Nobody on the planet has ever really believed that. Any one of my black friends that likes Lord of the Rings has never said to me, man, Jeremy, I wish that the orcs were not representative of my race. Like, nobody actually believes that. That men and women now come to slander and distort and ultimately destroy these sub-creations of Tolkien is also, in a very strange way, a testament to his legacy. Like Melkor, they are possessed by dark thoughts of their own imaginings, unlike those of the great Tolkien, and seek not so much to increase their own power and glory, but to bring Tolkien's down to their grubby station, where everything can be reduced to race and gender and politics. These people are taken today to be Tolkien scholars. What can we who love Tolkien and his profoundly Christian art do but repeat in sorrow a line from Lament for Rorium. The days have gone down in the west, behind the hills into shadow. Yeah, I mean, I'm no scholar on Tolkien. I'm clearly not a wordsmith, as I mispronounced many of the words in this article. But yeah, I mean, I believe that these weirdos absolutely want to destroy Tolkien's legacy. I mean, when 2/3 of the articles, queer atheists, agnostics, and animists, oh my. Like, what does that have to do with Tolkien's work? These are the same people. I talk about this a lot on how when ideology becomes identity, this is a common theme. And if you embrace this kind of understanding of a lot of these people, it will help you to understand why they do the things that they do. When you see people on Twitter with like 45 pronouns in their profile, and then they have a long profile with 7 different representative flags and stuff, it's because in many cases, their ideology is their identity. A lot of people ask me, how can you deal with all this hate? People are so mean to you. I was just talking to another YouTuber. They just texted me that at like 2 in the morning. I assumed that they had been taking some heat, sent back some kind words. But it's because I know when I make fun of an ideology, it's not personal for me, but it is for them. It's all they have. They don't have any unique personality traits. All they have is it's her time. All they have is no malarkey. All they have is, you know, whatever like particular political ideology that they're into at the time. It's their entire being. And that's why they're so soulless. That's why they justify, you know, burning down local businesses for reasons, for old what's his name. People that have nothing to offer society individually, replace that with an ideology, and collectivism leads to some very, very bad decision making. And that's exactly what you're seeing with a lot of these weirdos. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.